And I think there was a question in
Yeah,
regards to
startup.
startup.
What are they telling them, is the noise louder than normal?
Typically, when the facility is starting up, you may hear whoosh, some type of, and that's the air coming in through the air intake structure of the facility. But it'll be that one time, and then it'll be transferred and be a normal background noise as we just mentioned.
I'm interested in the emissions. The EPA is new meeting, regulations. And this is for how many, you said 100 hours?
Maximum operating, 100 days, 100 days.
And you know, you guys are still electricity, right? And Chicago's involved in that. And this operation can go from $100 to 24/7.
No, sir. Well, it can go 2,500 hours a year maximum. 2,500 hours a year. But the price of power is sold on a time of day basis. This hour right now, you'd never see this plant running unless a major unit in the region failed and went offline. The price of power is too low. It never started.
Yeah, that's what they've applied for under this permit. If they want to do anything else, they would have to come in and go through this process again.
What about everything?
They would have to go through this process.
You know, we all have children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. And this emission, it's safe, it's just left for the amount of hours children can use it. What is this an effect on our families, say 10 years from now? You know, people are working 2 miles. They're elected for a few years and then start thinking down. I haven't seen my daughter work in the refinery. And EPA says it's a good time. If you come in here and add as much to this as we trying to build, that's going to double your emissions. And
Actually, if you look at the air that you're breathing out, what we emit is better than the air that you're breathing out. You say, how can that be? You're burning something. Because what's going on in the area right now that's being measured, being monitored, says that what the air has in it now is worse than what we emit. It's a matter of science and measurement, whether you accept that or not.
Sir, you might want to make your comments during the formal second part of the meeting as well, so they can be addressed.
A question. On the electromagnetic field surrounds this, what is the level of that? Is that accessible? Are they within the limits of the electromagnetic field?
Sir, I do not know how to, I'm not familiar with that. I'm not an electrical engineer in regards to it, but we can research that and determine it. But I can tell you that it's a safe and sound plant in regards to it, because we'll be working there. Yeah, and people are working there, so.
Maybe 30 kVs are already going through this line, how much do you add? And that's a big power line, so electromagnetics mainly going to be transmission.
Those transmission lines already have a lot of energy running through them, and we will be adding to that, of course, but we'll be no more than what they have the capacity to run through the area, because those lines go all the way down to the South Texas nuclear plant, go into San Antonio, and run all throughout the state in regards to stuff moving electricity.
Go ahead and come forward, sir. Him first, and then we'll go back to you.
just wanted to know, peaking power plants are not anything new. I think there are a lot of them around. Is there any historical basis or any history of accidents at peaking power plants that you all are aware of? And if so, I think what we're all interested in this room is making sure that we all are going to be safe with this project. And we want to, everybody has a different question to ask, trying to get you to be willing to say, well, yes, there is a possibility for this, or yes, there is a possibility for that. However minuscule that possibility might be, we just want to know if there are any possibilities, and if they are, what are they?
I am not aware of any particular peaking plant accident. I'm sure there are facilities, power plants that have had accidents and stuff before. What I can add that is we're being fueled by natural gas. This is similar to what a lot of us use in our households for our stoves or to run our ovens, or some people even their electricity. So we'll be as safe as practical with that in regards to how we transmit that to our turbines and for operation's sake.
And is that the only place that danger would be is within that natural gas?
Think of it this way, I'm trying to relate it to your truck. I drive a diesel truck. I drive a 40. When my engine fails, most of the time what happens is I quit, we stop, I'm mad, I gotta get somebody to tow. These are engines that rotate much like a jet. They're just much longer. So what we have to be concerned about for our employees is a failure that occurs, not so much that they're in danger, is that they're hot. Everything is hot. So you don't want people close to the machine, so they have enclosures built around them. That's to protect employees. You're not even close to those machines. So you have a generator attached to the back end, and that's what creates the electricity. The engine turns the generator, just like your engine on your car turns your wheels. Okay? If the generator has a problem, the problem will be electrical related and will cause the unit to trip. When it trips, it stops running. So basically, these units are designed, I don't want to call it fail-safe. I hate to use that term. I use it now, but I don't like it. But they're designed that if there's a problem, the unit shuts down. So,
I understand, yeah, I just
And
revert
while,
back to the thinking of asbestos, for instance. We all used, or many of us were part of asbestos, and now we know what the damage is from asbestos and ammonia and things like that, And so these are our concerns. We're concerned for something hidden that's going to come up and bite us.
everybody's got one of these.
I know.
And the thing that it admits when you put it up, so if you spend a lot of time on this, you're actually doing more damage than the power plant that powers this up.
Okay.
and while he was answering, I did ask George if he was aware of any, and mind you, he's only an air investigator, so that's all we're talking about right now is air incidents. If he was aware of any other similar plants, and he said no. But there may have been some out there, we just aren't aware of them. The people that are here tonight aren't aware of them.
The safety record of the power industry in the United States is huge. You rarely hear about accidents. You don't hear about accidents. When there is an accident, it's something that's significant because something had damage, because they're large. I mean, you hear about airplanes that crash because you've got 200 or 100 people. When we've got employees, whenever there's employees at risk, you're always going to try and do something to make sure that they show up, they do their job, they get to go home to their families. So that's part of our whole corporate mission, is to make sure we do things safely and reliably, that everybody is in the same boat. We want to make sure everybody gets what they're supposed to get, they have a good day at work, they get to go home, all of our neighbors are treated fairly and honestly. We try and communicate as well as we can about what's going on. But when you look at a machine like this, it's really an electrical insurance policy. It's designed to be a safety net in the system when there's a problem in the system. And the system could be in Austin. You could have had a plant go down up there where the lights in Austin may want to go out and you start this unit. If there's a hurricane that comes on shore and it blacks out the region and this unit starts, the good news is because the electricity is here, your lights come on.
Okay.
So from one sense, it's the other way. You get a little bit of an upshot, a little bit of a safety net on the other side.
The last question is, so the power plant could provide peak power for anywhere in the state, or is it within a certain range?
That's the way ERCOT is designed
Okay.
as a system, because we don't connect to Louisiana, we don't connect to the home
Okay.
electric.
Okay. Well,
But
I
what
guess-
happens is, it is contained in a region.
I guess my question associated with this was, how do you happen to pick this particular area versus any other area in the state? Is it-
Proximity to a growing area. You've got San Antonio growing, you've got Seguin growing, Guadalupe County growing, you've got South of here growing, you've got Victoria growing. I mean, we have other plants much like this in other areas.
Really associated with the oil field, or except
The oil fields
power requirements, of course.
I mean, they're creating a demand for people.
Yeah.
You get people that move out here, they need electricity. So the answer is, yeah, indirectly, it's all connected.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir, he's next and then you, sir.
Yes, I have a question about safety of your engines. I was a turbine engine mechanic for 40 years. I worked on airplanes, I worked on helicopters. And you said this is like a jet engine, but on a larger scale. Okay, it has rotating turbines in it and everything. Are you gonna build a containment box around that engine to stop it in case it throws a turbine blade or a compressor blade out of it?
It's got a heavy steel, basically it's a heavy steel container that sits around it. Stick.
Okay, and it drives a generator
Yes,
that
sir.
that produces the electricity. Why do you need so much water for it when a regular airplane engine makes a lot of power,
Let me ask you,
turns a generator,
you know this about airplane engine.
and it
Wait, hold on, let him finish.
flood?
Okay,
When it's hot,
Yes,
how much load can that airplane engine carry versus when it's 40 degrees? About half.
no, sir. Depends on the weight of the airplane.
But when you load the airplane, load it, put all the people that can stand. Most cases, when you have a really hot day and you're up in San Antonio and you're gonna get out of the either they're leaving people behind or they're leaving cargo behind. Because the engines are gonna be starved for power because the air is thinner. What the coolers do is lower the temperature of the air so it's denser. That's all they do.
Right.
That density produces the power as the turbine, allows it to run at full output.
It runs better with denser air, I agree.
That's it.
But it can also make as much power at 100 degrees as it does at 40 degrees.
No, sir. No, it can't. The reason why is because the way, the technology of the equipment, it's the density, it's a big air passer. It's the volume of air and the density of the air that makes the kilowatts as it goes through the machine. So if the volume of the air is the same and the density is half, it produces half the amount of power.
I've only been grounded one time because of temperature,
Understand?
and that was in Phoenix, and it was 125 degrees.
Well, but you know, when it's 125 degrees or it's 100 degrees out here in your backyard, there is a fair chance that this plant's gonna run. But at 70 degrees,
Okay.
at 50 degrees, at 20, there's a chance that this may run also, because if people are turning on electric heaters,
Yes, I understand it.
it's the load factor.
Supply and demand.
You bet, absolutely. But
Just-
it's also the price to the wholesale generator of that power, so it's more than just supply and demand.
The main thing is there is gonna be a containment box around that engine. Because it's a piece of equipment, and equipment fails, it has a possibility of failing at any given moment.
That's correct.
You know, and I have seen them do horrible things to equipment, buildings, and people. You know, when one of them blades come off that wheel, it goes helter-skelter out through everything.
I can tell you that the machinery that we're buying is made by General Electric. Some of your refrigerators may be made by them also. I don't tell you much about the refrigerator, but I don't know, my wife told me. But the generators and the gas turbines in this technology, this is a company that is a very, very high standard
Yes.
for what they manufacture. And their record for minimizing failure is high, because like anything else, if they have machines that fail, our industry is gonna punish them because we're gonna go somewhere else. We're gonna travel with our feet. We have a very, very rigorous maintenance program. This young man over here is sort of responsible for that oversight. And that program is an annual program where you're familiar with boroscoping the machines to make sure.
Yes.
Okay. We do all that on an annual basis to ensure the integrity of the inside of the machine.
Right.
So we know if there's a trend where there's gonna be something that starts to crack, starts to wanna fail, we try and get at it first.
Right.
So annually, there's a series of things that are done to check the condition of the generator, the condition of the turbine, the condition of all the rotating elements. Very, very expensive, elaborate program. This is how we maintain a unit for 30, 35 years.
Yes.
Yeah, so just like your airplane engine, if you're a good mechanic, you don't have many of them come down.
I've got a lot of GE experience too.
But people like
Sir.
you are very valuable in our industry, because that's who keep these things running, is people that know how to know the machine, they understand these issues, they know how to keep track of the condition of the machine, and when things are happening, they notify us. You bring the appropriate people and the equipment and the spares, and go into the good parts of the replaced.
Some of the people here are concerned about the noise. The Navy, I was in the Navy, I was in the Navy. They use permanent ships instead of water. And they put it in the bottom of the ship. And when they're running, and they have to run from the ship to move, it was just like talking back and forth about here. You can't hear, and you can, they have a big glass window. And you can actually look through and watch the engine, and see the engine inside. And it's just like in the river, it's as quiet as nice. And all you get out of the stack is heat. And they don't get, they don't burn out the gas, they don't get.
The engines that are sitting on the pipe, they can be screaming noisy, but
Yes.
they're not quiet. They're intended to provide maximum propulsion for a device to go. They're not worried.
Okay. Thank you.
I have one question. You said that the well's gonna be dug down to about 420 feet? 450. Why at that depth, why can't they go deeper into some water that's, non-potable for humans and stuff?
We will have to talk to the tech guys on that. They go out and look at the site, and they know where the water is and various areas and that sort of thing, so.
Because most of the households around has to go down at least 400 feet. And say 10 years from now, you're going to add on to this panel. Then you're going to be drilling another 2 more wells. You know, that's what I'm looking at. If you're going to do something, you might as well do it right, start off with, and go into something that's non-potable or it's not
We
usable.
need to bring that discussion to everyone, because this is on the air.
Okay, well, I'm just.
Right.
Come down and see us if you have a problem with it.
I mean, even if they increased the size of the plant and we were here for a air permit meeting, we wouldn't be looking at the wells. We don't do that as part of the scope of this particular type of action. The agency doesn't.
Okay, I mean, she just brought up about the.
Right, I know she did, and
So-
they're answering questions
That's-
that, we wouldn't even, I couldn't even, if it was just us here, I would have told you we can't answer that question. But as long as she wants to, then I'll let her, because
Okay.
y'all are here for information and,
Right.
it's not hurting anybody, so. But I just wanted to make clear that
Okay.
we will never be looking at that as part of this type of permit.
You're welcome to come. I thought it very much.
In my well, 450 feet, you hit top of rock. And with another 3 feet, it's still at top of rock. So last year, the well was 450, and it's rock, it's top of rock. And that's why it's 450. Top of rock, and there's 3 more feet, it's still at top of rock.
Does anybody else have a question? Okay. Oh, 2 more. Then you, sir?
How many other plants are there like this in Texas?
All right, I'll start with the first part. This technology that we're using is newer turbine design. There are peaking power plants in Texas. It may be of a different vintage and a different technology as gas, steam peaking power plants that City of San Antonio might have. Luminant Energy may have type of those facilities. As in terms of the exact numbers, I don't have that in regards to these type of facilities. The facility that I showed you on the screen is a facility that is of the same turbine vintage and make, and it's in Florida. And so we were able to get a picture of it for reference to show people in regards to. And in terms of expanding of this facility, we do not have any plans to expand this facility at this site. If we were going to do that, we would have went through a whole different process in regards to stuff. This facility is designed for a specific purpose, and that is to meet that peak electrical demand. I know I keep harping on that or saying that, but it's really just to be able to provide that backup power, that replacement power, or that little bit of power that we need on those hot summer days when the power grid is really stressed, so we don't have trips or lose a blackout or brownout in the area. Is that yeah, that I can't really comment on in regards to other companies and what they do in regards to.
Other owners, I mean, we've owned plants that were designed to be expanded, so they were permitted, like this plant was actually permitted with 3 gas turbines. We're gonna build 3. But we designed plants in Morgan County as an example. We designed for 3 sets, we built 2. Left 1 for expansion in the marketplace. When the marketplace said, you need more power, you're already permitted to go. But we went through this exact same process, except we only built 2 of the 8 units instead of the third one all at the same time. Yes. So you normally go through, and if you look at the picture that showed the physical site, and you see the amount of space that it takes up, not a lot of extra space. So, yeah, we could buy 100 acres or 200 acres from one of your neighbors and do it again. And we'd be right back here doing precisely the same thing, making an application, showing you what we've got, telling you what we're doing. You'd have to find space on the transmission line. You know, the reason why a lot of this stuff is done is because the infrastructure has got to overlap. You've got to have access to fuel, you have access to the transmission line. But the transmission line is like a highway. If the highway is full and you put 1 more car on it, traffic stops. And if you put 5 more cars on it, you go nowhere. So what you have to do then is expand the transmission system to be able to put more. This system that's out here has been running for a long time. There was enough increment in it that we could put this size plant and no bigger in this area. Not to say that in 20 years' time, somebody doesn't build a sister transmission line down next to it and double the capacity of the region. But this is the 345 kV system is the primary transmission system in the state. All of the generation, for the most part, that gets manufactured in the state gets moved around at that level because it's the most efficient component for moving electric power. And then it's brought down to the different levels. So if you're served by GVEC, most of you buy your power from GVEC. They have 138 kV lines and they have 69 kV lines. So at different levels, they bring the power down and it comes into your house at 120 volts. And that's the way the electric system works. We don't, the electric system is the vehicle that we use, like you use the road system to get to the shop. Somebody else is responsible for manufacturing and maintaining it.
Sir, did you have a question? Oh,
450 feet, what is groundwater for what?
I think it's a Carrizo well, first of all, but again,
I know it's not.
yeah, what, we can, I've got the permit, we can take a look at it at the meeting. Because I'm thinking they're going into the Carrizo, but I don't know that it tells treat everybody the same.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions? Okay, sir.
I have one question I failed to ask. What the emissions are, is there, now that you brought up, is there any smell besides what you can't see if you actually, would you notice it in this home?
There will be no odors generated from the facility, no.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions? If there aren't any other questions, then we'll take a short break and, because we have to transition the machine, and then we'll come back for formal comment. Remember, during this part of the meeting, you'll need to come to the mic, state your name, and then make your comment on the record. We will not be answering your questions or addressing your comments during that part of the meeting.